I think Cody Bellinger is going to be a Yankee. It just feels like it. It feels like they're the most aggressive pursuers. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or the next day. It feels like this is going to take a while.
Yeah.
I do think at the end of the day, they're going to wind up with him.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network in the country. I'm Stacey Gotsulias alongside Brian McKeon. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The wild card round is here, and FanDuel is officially in playoff mode. So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Very exciting weekend coming up, huh?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
All right. Something else we're looking forward to, it's Fanmail Friday. That's coming up. If you're a newbie to the show, if you're not one of our everydayers, we do Fanmail Friday every single week. We have our listeners and viewers ask us questions, and we answer them to the best of our ability. But first, before we get to Fanmail Friday, let's discuss the fact that the Yankees avoid arbitration with all eligible players.
Yeah, you don't want one of those messy situations where you have to go to arbitration. They've done it before with other players, and from what I hear, things get awfully personal in the courtroom when they're trying to go between the arbitrator.
Oh, the Dellin Betances thing is infamous.
It gets bad.
Yeah.
So to avoid these things, especially with some newer names on the roster, that's a good sign for the Yankees.
Yeah. So they announced 1-year agreements with David Bednar, Jake Bird, Jose Caballero, Camilo Doval, Luis Gil, Anthony Volpe, and Jazz Chisholm gets $10.2 million. Volpe gets $3.475 million. Not a bad payday, huh?
Yeah, it has to go up every year. That's like the rules of arbitration. So what they didn't decide to give him that. It's based on what he got the year prior. So it's kind of like if anyone wants to freak out, they actually can't go below the number they went previously.
Because believe me, they'd want to.
Exactly. That's the point.
Yeah. Bednar got $9 million. Nice payday for him. Doval got 6.1. Cruz is at 1.4 million. Caballero $2 million on the nose, and Gil is at 62,500. Which
how do they get to that number?
I don't know.
Like it's so random, but hey, good for Luis Gil.
Yeah, good for Luis Gil. Good for us. All right.
Yeah.
It's time for Fanmail Friday. As I said at the top of the show, we do this every week. And every week we start with our insiders. And every week we start with Betty, who says, this insider and her husband are nearly 2 weeks into that horrible influenza A. We had our flu shot, so I can't even imagine how sick we might be without them. I tell you this because my brain has been mush and I could use some news from the Yankees that would make me feel better. What 2 really big moves do you think we will finally make? Lie to me if you have to.
Well, I love the enthusiasm, Betty. You're always on the optimistic side of things.
And we hope you feel better soon because that flu has been awful for people. Like I know people who have had it for a month. It's just awful.
Yeah, I actually have heard that too. And Betty, I'm sorry, I should have led with that. Hope you feel better. I think Cody Bellinger is going to be a Yankee. It just feels like it. It feels like they're the most aggressive pursuers. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or the next day. It feels like this is going to take a while.
Yeah,
I do think at the end of the day, they're going to wind up with him. Another one that I can lie to you about because I don't think they're going to necessarily do anything. They're going to trade for Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
That is a lie.
They're going to get Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Different team.
Right.
Let's go to Gary. Gary says, if we get Belly and run it back with the same team from 25, plus some big pieces coming back from injuries, how about each of you give us your biggest reason to be optimistic about the Yanks this year? I feel like by midseason, we still have a lot of potential.
I mean, I agree. It's not like this is an awful team. And I know it's scary that they're relying on Rodon and Cole to come back and be Rodon and Cole. Rodon is a little less scary than Cole. Cole had his entire elbow fixed. He got the brace. So that's a little scary coming back from that. But I think the biggest reason to be optimistic about the Yankees this year is they have Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I would say they have Gerrit Cole for an entire year as a reason to be optimistic. Now, I know that he got the elbow replaced, and I do hear your cause for concern. I will lend you this, though. It's been a long time since a pitcher has not been able to make it back from Tommy John surgery.
Right.
Like, they have the rehab.
Well, he had like a combo of Tommy John and the brace. Like, they did the whole thing there. So
they've done a really good job medically of getting these guys back to square one. Even so, Stacey, a lot of these guys have higher velocity when they get back from Tommy John because you're kind of repairing everything that was damaged in there. So a lot of these guys come back throwing even harder. I'm not saying Gerrit Cole's going to come back and win the Cy Young this year. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. But having him for essentially a full year, having Rodon, I mean, they're going to miss the first month or so of the season. Having all these guys back on fresh arms, I think is a reason to be optimistic. So I wouldn't. Vegas has them listed as the favorite in the American League East. All right, they have them listed at 94 wins. Whether you believe that should be right or not is a different story. But, rarely are those odds makers wrong. And people seem to be optimistic on the Yankees. I don't think there's a reason for us to be too negative on them either.
Right. Our next question is from Insider Ethan. Have either of you been told you look like a celebrity or been mistaken for someone else? I ask because about a year ago, a guy in a laundromat said I looked like Aaron Judge, which I thought was hilarious, both because I've heard it before, and it was the only thing this guy said to me before walking out of the laundromat.
I mean, I'm thankful for you that the guy didn't ask, are you Aaron Judge? Because when would you ever find Aaron Judge in a laundromat? So that is one thing. If you do look like Aaron Judge, congrats, because you're 6'8", like 300 pounds. So that's pretty cool. I have never been told that I look like a celebrity. My dad actually looked like a carbon copy of Billy Crystal, believe it or not.
Did he really?
Carbon copy. It's
that's so funny.
We were asked in restaurants, if he was Billy Crystal, like that level of carbon copy.
Wow.
Other than that, though, I have not been told, other than the obvious ones that you could pick out, like Bradley Cooper, obviously, Brad Pitt, that people
George
always
Clooney.
mistake George Clooney. Other than those, no one really comes to mind that people think to mistake me for.
When I was younger, when I was in middle school, someone told me one of my homeroom classmates was like, you look like the girl from Who's the Boss, basically because Alyssa Milano and I both had brown hair, brown eyes, and we both had bob haircuts, right?
Okay.
But I'm always told that I look like someone that someone knows. Like someone always says to me, actually, matter of fact, when I did 9 Innings from Ground Zero, the documentary on HBO all those years ago, the producer's assistant came up to me. She was fixing something with my hair or whatever. She's like, every time I look in the monitor, I'm freaked out because you look just like my best friend. You have her mannerisms. I said, really? I said, you're like the 4th person who's told me I look like someone they know. And I look just like, so apparently I have like 6 doppelgangers walking around planet Earth, and I've never seen any of them, but yeah, never.
It'll be weird
famous,
the one day you run into one of them, it'll be weird. Because you kind of have that Spider-Man meme of freezing and looking back and forth.
Yeah, because 2 of my good friends in Oswego, Tim and Dan, had doppelgangers on campus. Dan had like 2 doppelgangers on campus, and Tim had 1.
Interesting.
And I said, on a campus of how many people here? Like 8,000 people. How come I can't find another person that looks like me? And I just didn't. So
you're unique.
Yeah.
Evan wants to know, what is your favorite baseball movie?
Bull Durham. I love Bull Durham.
You know what's funny about me, Stacey? I'm not a big sports movie person. I love comedies. I love horror movies during Halloween time. I'm not a big sports movie person. I've never really gotten into them. I would say the one that I watched that I did really like, like is a strong word, but like in the sense of like, it was really informative.
You enjoyed it? You enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the watching experience. I didn't like the movie or enjoy the way that it went.
Okay.
42, the Jackie Robinson one that depicted exactly how Jackie Robinson was treated. Again, I wanted to be careful with the way that I phrased that. I didn't like the movie, but it was a really good watch.
No, I understand what you're saying because for those reasons, I still haven't watched that movie because that stuff makes me so angry that I don't think I could sit through it without wanting to punch my TV. I have a strong sense of, okay, If you have ADHD out there, you know that we have a strong sense of justice, and any kind of injustice will make us ruminate for like days. And it could be the littlest bit of injustice or the biggest bit of injustice. It's just something in our brain chemistry that happens to us. So there are movies that I avoid because I know that I will be angry at things that are happening in them.
I think there is like a segment of the population where like those movies are important to make.
Yes.
Not like you don't want to, you kind of want to actually show what happened back then. So people realize the realness of it and how brutal it actually was. Because it's one thing when those things are said over stories and words or even written down in books. It's another thing when you watch it, when it happens like in front of your face on a TV, even if it's on a TV screen, when it happens in front of you. So that movie did a tremendous job of like actually depicting what he was going through and what the world was like and how scary that was and how far we did and still need to go as a society sometimes. So like that's, again, I didn't want to like misconstrue and say that I enjoyed the movie. That's a weird word to use there, but just from a historical perspective, I really, really enjoyed the way that movie was put out there and portrayed.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. And I think everyone else probably does too. All right, coming up next, we're going to answer more of your Fanmail Friday questions.
Guys, let's be real. Managing your finances can feel unbelievably overwhelming. Between subscriptions you forget about, bills that keep going up, and trying to figure out where all your money actually goes each month, it can be very easy to feel like you're losing control. And who has the time to track every single transaction or hunt down those hidden fees? That's where Rocket Money comes in. The personal finance app that helps you take control. It finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. I was shocked when Rocket Money showed me what I was paying for all of my different subscriptions. Between all the streaming services, stuff that your subscriptions, it gets out of control. I completely forgot about several things, and it has already saved me money. You can set budgets and goals, get personal insights, and receive real-time alerts for large transactions you make on every single one of your things. Plus, it'll tell you when you got upcoming bills and low balances ahead. It even consolidates your checking, your savings, your loans, and your investments into one single dashboard so you can get a clear view of your entire financial picture. So let Rocket Money help reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Again, get involved at rocketmoney.com/lockedon. We want to thank you guys for making Locked On Yankees your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. If you haven't already, go check out our new Everydayer Club, where you can get access to an ad-free audio feed for Locked On Yankees. It's compatible with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and every other major podcasting app. And you also get an invite to the members-only Locked On Everydayer Club Discord server. It includes a group chat just for listeners of this show. Plus, you can contact hosts and other hosts if you got other interests in sports too. So go over to lockedonyankees.supercast.com if you're watching us on YouTube. You can also click on QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Take out your phone, open the camera, and take a picture of that QR code. It'll take you straight to the website. Tap the link in the show notes as well, where you can learn more. Stacey, we truck along on this Fan Mail Friday, and we keep it with the insiders. Chris F. says, Brian, you said you weren't in panic mode with our lack of moves and Belly still in question. I appreciate and like that, so my question to you both is, as of now, how it stands, what are your season record predictions and how far do we go? Love the pod and let's go Yankees. Shamelessly, I'm looking down because I need my calculator here.
I don't know yet. I'm better at making season record predictions when we know who the team is and what they have. And that's when I can kind of figure out what's going to happen, because as it is, the team isn't really set right now. So I can't really tell you.
I don't think it's fair to make those predictions yet.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the bullpen looks like fully. You don't know what the lineup's going to look like. You don't know who's going to get hurt in spring training. Knocking on wood, but you never know. Right now, I would say with the way they're situated, 92 and 70. I think they're better than what we all expect. Like, I think we all are.
Because I think people are catastrophizing everything and making it seem like they're going to be, they're only going to win 60 games. When in recent history have the Yankees been that bad? They haven't.
They're not going to be. So let's all collectively take a chill pill and also be cautiously optimistic.
Right. Right, our next question is from Malachi. What is your favorite movie? My favorite is either the Mario movie or The Greatest Showman. Ooh,
Wow.
you like musicals. That's good to know,
Interesting.
Malachi.
I love comedies. So, I mean, I can't not go Step Brothers. Iconic with how funny that movie is. I also love horror movies. So, like, I like the newer Halloweens. But, like, just, here's a bold take. I think old horror movies stink. Like, I know the history of movies and stuff is wonderful. The graphics on the 1970s Halloween movies are atrocious. I'm sorry. Like, get with the program, people. But the newer ones, so damn good if you're a Halloween fan. So I love the new Michael Myers movies.
Well, Halloween was like an independent movie. The original Halloween was like an independent movie. So you can't expect...
But look at Halloween, look at Friday the 13th, look at Nightmare. The graphics in those movies are awful from the 70s. And I know they're classics.
80s.
I get it. Whatever.
Nightmare on Elm Street is 80s.
Well, I think, but Halloween is 70s.
78. My mom took me to see it. I was 4 years old. It was so inappropriate for me to see that movie.
Very inappropriate for a 4-year-old. Like, extremely inappropriate for... That could have done some serious damage. It might have, actually. But, like, we can acknowledge that the graphics back then were awful.
Well, yeah, but it was like that with every movie.
It was, sure. But, like, the newer ones are better. Because for that kind of movie, they are better. It just is the fact. So, like, I love those kind of movies for sure.
Yeah, I can't really say that I have a favorite movie.
I don't know if, I don't, we've never, like, hung out to the point of watching movies, but, like, I don't picture you to be a movie fan.
I was when I was younger. I don't like going to the movies now because I don't like people.
And I think from saying you have ADHD, I feel like that makes movies a pretty difficult task.
I have
like a 2-hour sitting session seems like it's pretty daunting for you.
Well, now, yeah, with all the other distractions. So I put movies on more as background noise. But there are certain movies that I've seen literally like hundreds of times because I can watch things over and over again. So I will say one of my all-time favorite movies is Xanadu. And Sully will join me on that one.
You can tell, by the way, from our listeners from Fanmail Friday, that this is the doldrums of the offseason. Because everybody's like, what movies are you watching?
Yeah.
All right, Eric S. says, do you think Hal and Cash are dismissive of the fans' angst?
I wouldn't say dismissive. I just don't think that they let the fans' angst worry them because they know what their jobs are. They're not going to let the fan base dictate certain things like the angst of it. Because Yankee fans are always angsty. Yankee fans are always upset about something. So they would never let that affect them.
I'd make this point. I think I wouldn't say dismissive is the right word, but I would say that's healthy for Cash and Hal. Like, you can't react to things based on what the fan base feels. Like,
God, no.
There are franchises that do that. Trust me. And those franchises are very poorly run. There's one across town. So, like, you have to look at that very notably. Like, you can't react to things based on how the fan base reacts to things. They have to be on their own agenda. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
Right. All right. Our last insider question comes from Alex Z, who got it in right before the deadline on Friday at 11:45 a.m. So good job, Alex, and good job me for double checking subtext because I almost missed it. Still want the Yankees to hire an international scouting director. I know Brian said not really a big deal, and for the Yankees, it hasn't been, but it could be huge if we had the right director. 4 out of 10 of the MLB top prospects came from international signings. Milwaukee signed 2 last year who were in the top 20. The Dodgers have 2 in the top 34. International signing period opens next week. We lost 2 international signing prospects to the Mets already.
I'm not saying it's not a big deal in not having that department, because that is like an unsung hero department of the team where no one talks about it. No one realizes the signings they're making. And then all of a sudden it's, oh crap, they have this kid, Miguel Andujar, that's running through the system. So, like, you do have those kind of things. I'm just saying for what they're looking at going into next year, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, in the future, this could hurt them. Right now, I don't think it's that much to worry about when it comes to the 2026 New York Yankees.
That makes sense.
I want to go to a YouTube question. It is Peter_Pinstripe, who says, my question is, where do you think the Yankees need to add depth at a position, and who would be a player they get to add to it? Example, a right-handed catcher that fits.
Yeah, I wonder about catcher, because I saw, it's the offseason, so people are bored. And some people were talking about, hey, maybe they should bring Gary Sanchez back as a backup catcher.
No, and I don't think Real Muto's a thing either, because he's available too. No, they're not going after him.
No.
Austin Hayes could be one that they go after. Cheaper option, right-handed hitter, that could be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's a better spot on the roster where they need to improve. Relief pitcher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They need some more relief arms, particularly right-handed. They have Tim Hill coming back, who's their lefty specialist, but they do need some right-handed pitching arms.
Right. And our last question of this segment from Kevin Sweeney. Hi, which Japanese player would you say has the best chance to succeed, and which one has the best chance to fail? See, here's my thought about this. We have a guest coming up on a future show. We recorded with him earlier today, and he had mentioned that he was a little surprised that these guys weren't as highly touted. It took a while for them to get signed. I think that actually works in their favor because they're not expected to be like a Shohei Ohtani or a Yamamoto, and I don't think either one of them are going to fail. I think they're going to be perfectly fine.
That's a great point. I think not having it is weird though. The guys that come over with these lofty expectations, more often than not, they do prove themselves.
Yeah.
Now Ohtani didn't have the most amazing rookie year, but he won Rookie of the Year. And still, these guys do prove themselves pretty quickly on. Yamamoto got off to a poor start, but figured it out afterwards. I would say right now, the guy that I have the most confidence in is Amai. I just think that kind of moxie coming over and that kind of confidence in yourself, I do think playing in Houston will help him too.
Yeah.
Kind of a quieter market. The media is not as crazy on him. Like that kind of confidence, it could have hurt him in a Northeast market, like a Philadelphia or New York.
Or it even could have hurt him like 3 years ago if he joined Houston, because back then they were more
nationally covered.
On.
Yeah. And like, if you struggle out of the gate with a team like that, it'll get on you really quickly. The fan base will start getting on you. The national media attention will get on you. Mm-hmm. He'll have time to figure things out in a new country, new language, all those kind of things. He'll have time to figure it out in Houston, and people won't really get on his case. I think it's actually a really good landing spot for him.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, coming up, more questions from our YouTube viewers next.
Guys, it's finally here, the wild card round later on today, and FanDuel is officially moving into playoff mode. Every game during the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is going to be giving customers even more ways to get in on the action, because right now, every NFL playoff game day, FanDuel users get a profit boost pack waiting for them inside the app. Each game day, you'll see a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts that you can apply to the bets that you like most. You open up your profit boost pack first thing on game day and see what boosts that you want to apply. The boosts let you lean into game day instincts, whether you're backing momentum, defenses, quarterback play, or coaching. And it also gives you more juice on your bets that you already like, instead of forcing you to bet on something new. Every play feels bigger, and the boosts make you feel like your bets are bigger themselves. You make your picks, then apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. So visit FanDuel, it's an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Last segment of the week. By the way, we really hope that you guys enjoyed our spot with Justin Shackle. We're putting up some of those YouTube short promos and stuff. You can go to my Instagram to check them out too, and Locked On Yankees Instagram feeds. They're all available there. Some really cool stuff with Justin. So if you want to go back to our interview from earlier in the week, check it out with Justin. Coming up in the future, we will have John Heyman on. We're going to have some other guests coming on, plus one of Stacey's media heroes going to be coming on soon. Looking forward to that one. We go back to our YouTube questions. Casey Cotreau 7050 says, how big of an impact do you think Oswaldo Cabrera will make when he returns from his injury?
Well, I think having him as an option, playing certain positions, is always good to have.
It's hard to tell right now, but there are often guys that get hurt in the middle of the season. Like, you don't know what his path is going to be when he gets back. So I think there's a very good chance that he makes a really big impact on this roster one way or another. I don't know how big it's going to be at this point, but I think there's a good chance that he will make an impact.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read this one because it's long?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
There you go. I feel like being a gentleman today.
Thank
Jason Tarrant says, what grade would you give the Yankees offseason so far? To me right now, it's a huge fail. It really just seems like they are riding on a bunch of hope, hoping pitchers come back and pitch like aces, even though they haven't pitched in months, hoping for a hitter who had career years to repeat them again, hoping there's not another Boone swoon. The only consistent thing in the roster is Aaron Judge. I think this team needs a Bichette and a Steven Kwan, who have consistently put up good numbers, and another starting pitcher. Let's go get some prospects to do so. Blue Jays have made moves. Even the Orioles have made moves. The Dodgers made one big move because more of their star players are hurt, and they also put up consistently good numbers.
Well, none. This is none of their star players are hurt.
I would say this. Be a little cautious with that. The Yankees do have guys that are consistent on their roster. Yeah. Right there. It's not all guys that overperformed their baseball card last year. Like, all we know is Ben Rice being this consistent. Ben Rice has been on an upward trajectory his entire career so far. So, Aaron Judge, yes, very consistent with his play, but hasn't Gerrit Cole done enough in his career, Stacey, to kind of earn the right for you to be confident in him going forward?
Right.
He's won a Cy Young with the team. Hasn't Carlos Rodon done enough in his career to earn the right for you to be a little confident in him? Like, I think there's enough evidence with this roster where, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying that they're going to win 103 games next year. But there's enough with this roster to have some confidence going forward that they're at least going to compete. Right. So I don't know. I think Jason's being a little pessimistic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and also all teams are riding on hope next year, right? Like, let's be real. Like, the Yankees are hoping that this guy performs and this guy performs. Like, yeah, Gerrit Cole makes $40 million a year or $37 million a year because that's what he's paid. He's paid that much money to pitch the way that he's expected to pitch. If he doesn't pitch that way, they're not going to win. Just like Carlos Rodon gets $30 million a year because they're not going to win if he doesn't pitch that way. So, like, if Shohei Ohtani is not as good as he usually is next year, the Dodgers probably aren't going to win. Like, you need your best players to be your best players. So I don't think that it's worthy to be a little more optimistic.
Yeah. All right, our next question is from Colin Martin 42. You have to sign one of these former Yankees who are still a free agent. Who do you sign and how do they fit on the roster? Gary Sanchez, IKF, Michael Tauchman, Tommy Kahnle, David Robertson, Harrison Bader, Andrew McCutchen, Nestor Cortez, or Miguel Andujar.
Oof. I mean, those are some names. Harrison Bader. I think he fits the most. Really solid fielder. I liked him as a Yankee. I really did. I thought he had some really clutch moments. That's who I'd bring back.
It was also fun watching a center fielder be able to play center field. Because remember when he came over and played center field, you were like, wow, so this is what a good center fielder plays like?
And he puts together very professional at-bats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just is a really good hitter.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question is going to come from Papa Do Preach podcast. Thank you for listening. What's your opinion on adults being expected to give the ball to the kid next to you? That happens, that thing that happens at games these days. I'm 45. I've been to 40 to 50 Yankee games in 12 different parks. I've never had a ball come anywhere close to me, and if one does, I'm keeping it, assuming a Yankee hit the ball. Lifelong dream comes true after decades of going to games. Am I expected to just give it away? I do get where he's coming from.
I know.
Like, as horrible as I sound, I get it. Because I've only had one ball come close to me, and I was actually in the bleachers for A-Rod's final home run. And it went over my head. It was unbelievable. And I didn't catch the ball, or it didn't come close enough for it to hit my hand. It was just kind of like relatively close to me. But I feel like I'd give it to a kid, because of just like public like peer pressure.
Oh yeah,
that's just what you have to do.
People will be on you. You have to give it.
I will say this. I do dream of this happening one day. This won't happen to me or probably anybody, but if there's a God out there, let this happen. I really hope that a ball is hit to me and there is a really, really pretty woman in the stands that's near me. That is potentially my future wife. I would love to bring the ball over to her and be like, I'll give you the ball for your number. Like that is, I think that there is no better pickup move than that. Am I wrong? Like that would work on a lot of women. Even if they don't have interest in you, they'd probably give you their number just for the baseball. Like that is like a potential like really good pickup line for me. That's why I hope a ball. So I would give it to a woman I had a crush on before a child, then a child, then keep it myself. That's my hierarchy of things. The other priorities in that situation.
Derek Jeter almost killed me during a game.
There you go.
He fouled the ball off, and me and my friend who sat with me in my partial season tickets on Sundays, we dove.
How close were you?
5th row of the upper deck. So anytime a right-handed batter would foul it off, it would come shooting up at us. And I think A-Rod hit one near us too one time that almost hit the guy behind me. But we dove out of the way, and then the ball bounced off the back of my seat and then like all the way back out onto the field.
It's very difficult, and it's not common. This does not happen very often.
If you're in a lower part of the field and it's like a high pop foul ball, that's easier than something literally flying at you. Like this eye doesn't work. Like I can't see certain things. So there's it's no. But yeah, no, you have to give it to a kid. My dad missed out on a Roger Maris home run in 1961. He was sitting in right field at old Yankee Stadium, and the ball was coming right at him. It was probably when he was in like the 40s. I don't think he had made it to the 50 home run threshold yet, but it was getting to the point where it was that year. And my dad was pretty tall. He was like 6'1", 6'2" in his heyday, and this guy dove like right in front of him to steal the ball from my dad. So Gus was not happy about that.
I think I've had someone do that to me before. Like I was in foul territory, and there was a ball that was like relatively close to me, and some grown man like pushed me aside to like go get the ball. And it's like, dude, it's a baseball.
Like it's one thing if a ball comes right to you.
Oh well, yeah. But then it's self-defense.
Purposely go in front of a child and steal a ball away from them, or if a player is clearly throwing to a child and you step in front,
those are the best videos. The best videos are like when Aaron Judge is throwing the ball into the stands, clearly aiming for a kid. Yeah. And some grown man who lives in his mom's basement has to like jump in front and grab. Like it is the fun. It is.
There's that famous video in Derek Jeter's last season. They were in Houston, and he was trying to get a ball to a little girl, and this woman standing in front of where the little girl was on top of the father's shoulders was trying to reach for it, and Jeter kept pulling it away from the woman, like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I'm giving it to her, and he was able to give it to
It happened last year. Remember last year, I believe, was it a Texas Rangers game where a woman stepped in, like there was a dad with his daughter, and they went to go grab the baseball. It was a home run, landed in the stands. The dad went to go grab the baseball, and it was like Philadelphia Karen was her name or something. And the woman stepped in front of the guy and like grabbed and was like, "That's my ball." Oh, there's a whole big story.
I thought that was in Miami.
It was in Miami. That's where it was. Yeah, Miami. Yeah. It was against the Phil. And she stepped in front and grabbed the ball.
Yeah, like she thought the ball was hers, and she was like 10 feet away from it.
Yeah, like there are grown adults who act like that at baseball games. It is quite comical. It has never, weirdly enough, it has never mattered to me to get a ball at a game. It never isn't like. I guess it's cool, but like it's never mattered to me, honestly.
Right. I can see that. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to Fanmail Friday on Saturday. Yes. The reason we did that is some of the interviews we had to do, it made the schedule all wonky. So you get to watch Fanmail Friday on Saturday. You get to watch it throughout the entire weekend. So that's our present to you for this Fanmail Friday. But next week we'll be back to our normal schedule. But thank you for tuning in today to Locked On Yankees, and make sure you subscribe and follow Locked On Yankees so you get all of the latest episodes. As Brian said, we have some big guests coming up in the next few weeks that we're very excited about, and we're excited about you watching them and listening to them. You can also follow us on Instagram at Locked On Yankees, all one word, and at TikTok at LockedOn_Yankees. And if you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Yankees ad-free plus members-only Discord access. And here's the QR code for you to join as well. So you get the Yankees ad-free, which is really awesome. You get to join the Discord. You get to commiserate with your fellow Locked On Yankee fans, but you also get to commiserate with other Locked On teams fans. That's the cool thing about it. So head to lockedonyankees.supercast to join the Everydayer Club, because it will be a lot of fun. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 National Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. On audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On MLB with Sully And if you do, make sure you bring up Xanadu because he loves that movie as much as I do. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys next week.